Hello everyone, this is Cretaceous-zilla here, back with a video, and finally, the movie's just come out, the video's long overdue. It's time for me to talk about the Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, toys by Playmates. That is right, today's video will be taking a look at every single figure that Playmates has released, or that I picked up. These figures just released, I don't know, about a few weeks ago, or it's been a few months now since the figures have released. Not a few weeks, it's been a few months since the figures came out. There are so many figures to take a look at, so much to choose from, so leave in the comments which figures you like and which ones you have. Also, just by the time of me recording this video, I don't have the giant Skar King with Whiplash figure. It's because I live in Australia, and unfortunately this figure hasn't came down to Australia yet. So I really hope that this figure eventually gets released down here. Also, there have been rumours and shows of giant Shimo, which currently is on eBay, I heard, but I haven't got that figure. That figure hasn't even been technically released yet, so I'm excited to see that figure, and hopefully it comes down to Australia, I hope. So that will be very exciting. Also, there's also a Battle War Shimo that's said to release, and there's also going to be a giant, size Godzilla and Kong that makes sounds as well. So that is very cool that we are getting more Godzilla X Kong figures in the future by Playmates. And I hope we do get a wave 2 of the main line as well, which I heard that there were images floating around, but those images are fake. So anyway, let's just dive in. We have a lot of figures to talk about, so I'll just go as quick as I can. We are starting with wave 1 of figures. The first figure we're going to take a look at is the Godzilla with Heat Breath, and in my opinion, this is the weakest figure out of the line in my opinion. I mean, there's nothing really special about this one. It's pretty much kind of the exact same as the Godzilla vs. Kong figure. However, there is some slight differences on this figure. For one, the atomic breath piece, and also the tail, as well as the spines also look a bit different as well. The thing I like about this figure is the atomic breath piece. It's definitely so much better compared to the GVK version. I also really like the spines as well on the new one. I think the spines definitely look a lot better compared to the VK one. In terms of articulation, you just have your standard articulation with the mouth, the head doesn't really rotate that well, as well as the arms, they move, as well as the legs, they can move back and forward. The feet can rotate as well, and the tail can move as well. And that's pretty much all for articulation on this guy. I think my only problem with this figure is that we pretty much have gotten the exact same Godzilla figure in the past before, with countless others, particularly in the GVK line there is so much. Also, this figure also comes with battle damage, which is really strange because this is the only Godzilla X Kong figure to actually have battle damage to him, which I mean really makes it clear that Playmates definitely copied off of the last Godzilla vs. Kong figure, which I think honestly is a little bit of a cash grab in my opinion, this figure. However, it is definitely, if you didn't have a Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla figure, then I recommend picking this one up. But so far, let's just take a look at the new Godzilla Evolved. And Godzilla Evolved, he looks alright in my opinion. The colour on this guy is alright, I guess. I mean, the only problem is it's not really movie accurate, but I mean, it's a toy for kids, so anyway. The articulation of this guy is the exact same as the other Godzilla figure that we taken a look at. So obviously the head doesn't really that much rotate, the mouth moves, the arm moves, the tail moves, the other tail just popped off, the legs move, and the feet move as well. So pretty standard Godzilla articulation on him. Also, this guy is skinny as hell. Like, feeling this guy, he is extremely skinny compared to all the other Godzilla figures that I have in the collection. But one problem I have with this guy is that his spikes aren't painted, which is totally inaccurate. Also, I don't really like how the head looks. I think the head, it looks kind of strange, and I get it's a kid's toy, but it's just my mouth and my face just doesn't look that great. Also, one problem is the body, the spines, sorry. The first dorsal plates look amazing, but then when it gets to the tip of the tail and stuff, it just looks meh. This guy also comes with an atomic breath piece, which there's a hole in his mouth, which this is the breath piece, by the way, which looks extremely cool. So attaching this guy to the mouth, did take me a bit of time to figure it out, because it's really hard and you got to force it in, but there we go. There's his atomic breath piece in his mouth. Looks like Godzilla's barfing up jelly or something like that. Like, it just looks kind of wrong. But, I mean, still though, I think it's an alright figure. It's just some problems with it. But, next up, we have Kong. And oh my god, what Playmates did with Kong is much superior of Godzilla. I know that's gonna, really put out off some Godzilla fans. I'm sorry, but it's true. Playmates did with Kong was definitely a lot better than what they did with their Godzillas. Also, it's the only GXK figure that comes with a vehicle, and that's the biochemical heave. Which, I mean, makes sense, because there isn't that many vehicles or that many ships in the movie that Monarch uses, except for the biomechanical heave, I'm pretty sure. As for Kong's articulation, his head can go around, of course, as well as his arms move around, and his elbows also move. The only thing I'm disappointed about this figure is that his hand, his beast glove hand, doesn't move, which I think is kind of a missed opportunity and disappointing. But you can also do it on the other arm with articulation. His legs also move, and his knees bend, and, you know, his thighs can open. So Kong's really articulated, and he's the most articulated monster. Well, he's not actually the most articulated monster, but, you know, he's really articulated. You know what I mean. Also, the detail on this guy is amazing. I especially like how, you know, this figure looks extremely different to the GVK Playmates figure. Also, his double scarring on his six-pack right there also looks pretty cool. Also, an eight-pack. Yeah, Kong has an 8-pack. He's been hitting the gym, and as well as Godzilla as well. Also, his beast glove looks awesome as well. My only problem is it doesn't have any articulation, but we could take a look at Kong's backside, and you can see it looks amazing. Anyway, I've got the GVK Kong figure for comparisons. I do really think Playmates is going to release another version of this Kong, this time without the beast glove and with the axe. And I do think, you know what, Playmates did a good job on this Kong, and I think it's more superior to the GVK Kong that we got 3 years ago. So I do think the Kong on the right is definitely better than the Kong on the left. The next figure we have here is this little shit right here. Yep, I'm talking about the Suko and Titanus Doug figures. The sons of Kongs and the sons of Godzilla, maybe? Oh well, let's just check them out anyways. For starters, we're going to talk about the special one here. Get the hell out of here, Kong. Yes, that's right. Yep, we're going to take a look at Doug. Titanus Doug is finally made as a figure. Great job, Playmates, for giving us a new figure of Titanus Doug. We have never gotten a Doug figure at all, so great job, Playmates, for giving us a Doug. However, one question I had to ask for this figure, and that is, why is this figure black?
It was at this moment that he knew.
I thought that Doug in the movie was brown, he wasn't black, so why is this figure, I don't really know. I guess it was concept art or something, like I'm not really too sure. But onto Doug's articulation. The head can rotate all the way around, the legs can rotate, and the tail rotates, as well as the arm, leg, like feet things can also, at the front can also articulate. So, not really a lot of articulation with this guy, but I do think so. What else is there for his guy to articulate? I mean, he's not supposed to be the most articulated because he's more smaller. So anyway, I really do hope that Hyler gives us a more articulated Doug figure, and this time looks a little more movie accurate. Still though, I think the Playmates one is good. But anyways, on to Suko. And in my opinion, I think Suko, he looks fine, to be honest. Like, I don't think, honestly, he doesn't really look, I thought in the film he looked a bit orange, to be honest, but I think it's still fine because it still matches more with Kong. And also, he looks kind of like a younger version of Kong as well. As for articulation, the head can move all the way around, the arms, and also his elbows, as well as his hands. So they have articulation. The feet can articulate, the legs and knees can articulate. So he does have quite a lot of articulation to him. He's kind of the standard Kong articulation, right? No, but he has one articulation, and that's his waist can move, giving him the most articulated figure in the entire GXK line. That is crazy that he has the most articulated figure. Like, I never thought that would be. Like, this little guy, how come he has more articulation? But he doesn't stand a chance against Skar King. That's right, yep. Skar King, is that right? Skar King, yeah.
Monkey.
Okay, then your breath smells like bananas anyway. So, Skar King, he's, the main threat in the movie. That somehow, he's the main threat. But anyway, This guy also comes with whiplash, a whiplash accessory here, which the whip is extremely bendy. It's supposed to be the skeleton, like kaiju creature. You can put it around him, which I'm trying to do right now. You can put it around him, which is what it comes with in the box. How do you do this? Oh my god. Whew, there we go. There's the guy with his whiplash right on him, which is what you get from the box. And yeah, he looks really, really cool, to be honest, with the whip. I especially like how they came with his whip that's attached. I was really hoping that they didn't, stick it on him. So yeah, onto articulation. His head can rotate all the way around. His shoulders can all rotate all the way around, as well as his arms, and his hands or wrists can rotate all the way around. Same thing on the other hand, obviously not the same articulation, nothing new. He also has articulation in the waist, which is very squeaky for some odd reason, but yeah, he can rotate all the way around at the waist, so that's really cool. He can also rotate up and down, just like that. And his legs can also articulate, as well as his knees, and his feet unfortunately don't articulate. And that's pretty much all the articulation on Skar King right here. Yep, the lanky orangutan looks very good in my opinion. I do think that maybe Playmates should have done a bit more with his face. Like, maybe they could have added a bit more to his face. But, I mean, that's pretty much really it. I have nothing to really complain about this figure. I think it's a very good figure. But I don't think he's that threatening enough as a villain. That's just in my opinion. Anyway, I can just have him, be bullied by Godzilla and Kong. I mean, look at this. He's not even as tall as them in my eyes. Like, he's not that tall at all, which doesn't make him that much of a threatening villain. But he's not the only one. We also have the Ice Dragon Kaiju Shimo. That's right, boys and gals, we have Shimo here. And Shimo, honestly, wasn't really that much of a big deal, to be honest. I don't think Shimo was really set up that well as a secret villain. They just quickly released her in the toy line, and I don't think she was really that spoiled at all. So anyway, as for Shimo's paint, I don't really like the top of her head. It looks like she's wearing a hat or something. What is that? But I do think her spines are great, as well as her tail. I do think that looks really great. But it looks very similar to Godzilla's tail, which I think was done on purpose. But her mouth opening wide just looks kind of funny to me. But anyways, this is Shimo's breath effect, which has obviously a hole in her mouth, which you can put in just like the Godzilla figure. And so here's her little breath thing that you just stick right in her mouth. God damn it. Another one of these hard things again. I gotta, focus on this one very quickly. Sorry, guys. Oops. So yeah, I gotta put the breath in so it goes in like so. There you go. And you can just make it like she's shooting her ice breath, sorry. So, yeah, onto Shimo's articulation. The jaw moves, the head can move all the way around, the legs, her front arms move, sorry, I don't know what you call them. All her feet move, her back legs do move, as well as her back feet, and her tail also moves as well. So that's pretty much all the articulation for Shimo. Very cool looking figure, honestly. So far, this is the only Shimo we have. There is also a giant Shimo, which they're already, I think they're already for sale. I'm not too sure about that yet. But also, there is also going to be a Battle War Shimo, I think. So that's going to be really cool. So that's pretty much it for Shimo's articulation. So, I want to do this very quickly, guys. And that's going to put... Yeah, that is right. Put Skar King on Shimo, and this is how it's supposed to be movie accurate. Even though it looks kind of odd, there's a bit of, a gap between Skar King and Shimo. But, I mean, it looks so cool. I want to see these two. I want to see Skar King, Ryan, Shimo wrangling down some kaijus. It just looks so cool. But that was the entire wave 1 of Godzilla or X Kong or GXK, the new Empire figures. And I do think they look really, really awesome. I love these guys. They're fun to play with, especially if you have kids. These are the toys for them. But wait, am I forgetting one figure? One very extremely odd figure? Yep, that is right. I'm taking a look at one of the most cursed Godzilla things on the internet at the moment. That's right. the Titan Evolution Godzilla. And it comes with a Godzilla figure and a rubbery Godzilla suit-like thing. So let's take a look at the Godzilla here, the Godzilla Evolved, which in my opinion, it looks actually really good. It actually looks much better than the Godzilla figure from the main line. But you can tell there are some really big differences with this figure. For one, the tail doesn't have the spiky ends on the tail, which I think is to put the figure inside the suit. As well, it doesn't come with the the spike things on his elbows as well, which I think was also made for the suit. But that's for this guy's articulation. You can clearly see he just has the exact same articulation as the other Godzilla figure. Like, there's nothing really special here. So I'll just, give away the articulation. But I'll just talk more about this figure. But yeah, this figure is supposed to go inside this Godzilla suit. Also, the tail comes detached as well. But this guy doesn't come with any accessories. He just comes with this rubbery Godzilla suit. Which, by the way, let's take a look at the rubbery Godzilla suit. Which, by the way, I'm surprised that no one has made a man in the suit comparison with this guy. Because this guy reminds me so much of, those Godzilla analog horror shorts of the man in the suit. That's become really popular over the internet. But anyway, he doesn't really have a lot of, paint or any, quality detail because he's supposed to be this rubbery thing for kids. But he's super squishy and super rubbery. And honestly, he's very durable. Durability, sorry. So you can pretty much whack this guy across the wall. You can pretty much stretch him like that toy, Stretch Armstrong, that figure. You can pretty much stretch him whenever you want. He's very durable, so you'll be able to do whatever you want with him. So I think, honestly, he's very cool, and I just like playing with this guy. Like, he's just so fun to play with. But anyway, let's just put Godzilla Evolved in this Godzilla-like skin thing. I mean, this is kind of a crazy toy for kids to play with. So for one, you're going to want to put Godzilla's tail in. I'm just trying to do this. Come on. Okay. Okay, this will be a bit hard to do, but, oh god, this is taking forever. Okay, guys, I'm a bit stuck here with this guy, because, I'm putting this figure in, but it just looks kind of odd looking, like, oh god, this is giving me nightmares. Okay, I know you're going to spam in the comments section telling me how to do it, and I know that. It's just, I can't put this Godzilla Evolved in this suit. I am not kidding, it is so freaking hard to do. Like, I've spent 1 to 2 hours maybe trying to put this guy into the suit, and it just doesn't fit for some odd reason. Like, why did you do this, Playmates? Why did you make this toy? Especially for kids. I don't know if kids will be able to do this. I know people are going to call me a dumb idiot, or, I don't know how to fix stuff, but I just don't know how to do it, guys. Like, for some odd reason, I can't fit this guy in the suit for some odd reason. And I know there is on the internet people that have done it, but it's just very hard for me. I'm sorry, guys. It took me like an hour to do, okay? So I'm probably going to never put this guy in the suit ever again, probably. I'm just going to leave him out. Also, here's a photo of Godzilla busting to go to the bathroom. I literally posed this figure like that. The next lot of figures we're going to take a look at are the Battle Roar figures. That's right. Playmates returned with the Battle Roar figures for GXK. But are they superior to the GVK? We'll just have to see. For starters, we have Godzilla Evolved. With Godzilla Evolved, he looks actually very good. I do think that he looks better than the other Godzilla figure that's released for the main line wave, which is kind of saying something, to be honest. I do really like how this figure is painted, and especially the spikes as well. The head's also good as well, and also he has the red on his little spine areas that are on his arms. So that's really cool that they added that. Anyway, as for articulation, his mouth can open, but however, it will close very quickly because of the feature. The arms do move, around. Also, the legs do kick back and forward, as well as the legs. And then the tail moves, but the end of the tail doesn't move. So, pretty basic Godzilla articulation for this guy, which is fine. And obviously, he's on all the other figures, this articulation. But yeah. Also, this guy looks like he's in a battle pose as well, which is, the Battle Roar figures. So he looks like he's in the battle pose. I'm not too sure if you can, pose him to, look down or something. I think you can, yep. But we're going to move on to sound now. There's a button here that's very recognizable. And let's just hear the roars this guy makes. Ultimate badass. What an awesome sound. So I'm comparing Godzilla Evolved to Godzilla 2021 Battle Roar figure. And I think, what is the 2021 figure? I mean, obviously the Godzilla Evolved takes it out of the cake. I do feel like that one is definitely the best one. I do like the 2021 one, but I just don't like how the way their head is posed, which is why I prefer the Godzilla Evolved figure. But I mean, still though, they're still pretty cool looking Godzilla figures. And I think Playmates definitely did a much better job on the 2024 figure. Moving on, we have Kong Battle Roar. And yep, this is pretty much the kind of an exact same mold as the 2021 Kong. However, I would say there are some differences, which I will compare this guy to the Kong later from 2021. But let's look at this guy's detail, which I think Playmates absolutely killed it with this guy's detail. I don't know why, but this figure kind of feels a bit heavy for some reason. I don't know if that's all the batteries and stuff inside the figure. I'm not too sure what, but he just feels a bit heavy. Also, his head is very squishy as well, just because he's a Battle Roar figure, so obviously, except for the teeth, his head is very squishy. But as for articulation for Kong, his arms move around, as well as his fists also move. His legs move as well, and that's really it. There's nothing on the feet, and all in all, there's nothing in the head. However, you can open his jaws if you really want to, but because he's a Battle Roar figure, I don't think he's going to open his mouth for very long. He obviously has the double scarring as well, you can see on his chest as well. I'm very surprised that Playmates didn't equip him with the Beast Glove. I'm actually quite surprised with that. So they just made a normal Kong figure without the Beast Glove. But as for the gimmick, his Battle Roar, obviously there's the button, the recognizable button on the back. There's some batteries and also screw holes. God damn it, Playmates. You should fix your screw holes. Let's hear Kong's roar. And yep, that's Kong's roar. He roars like an ape. So, here he is compared to the 2021 Kong, which, oh my god, what the hell is this monstrosity? I definitely do think Playmates definitely knocked it out of the park with the new figure. Definitely much better. You can see they're in the same pose. However, I would say the only difference is that the face, of course, as well as the body. I think the body looks a bit different. I think, like, the Kong from 2021 has a much bigger and much wider chest, whilst the new one is kind of low. Also, their arms are also very different, as you can tell as well. So, and also I see the legs are a bit different. But overall, that's pretty much it. I think 100%, I definitely think Playmates improved on this figure, and I prefer Kong 2024. Like, the 2021 figure is a monstrosity of a thing. The final Battle Roar figure we have to take a look at is the main villain himself, the god figure. Yep, Skar King. Skar King here. He looks, honestly, kind of not that threatening. I mean, he just looks quite grumpy for some odd reason. I don't know why. But let's just take a look at him. For one, unfortunately, I'm very annoyed at Playmates for this, and that you're not able to remove his whip thing. I don't know if it was, for like, pricing or anything, but I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't take his whip off. Like, that could have been a feature to this figure. I kind of feel like Playmates definitely missed out on that opportunity. But as for detail, I do feel like this guy definitely, I think he might look a lot better compared to the other Skar King we taken a look at. His head's also very rubbery, so because he's a Kong figure, his jaw can open, but it won't stay there because it's a Battle Roar figure. Also, his sound box is right under his whip thing, so you might not be able to hear the voice, but we'll just try out. But as for articulation, the arms move, the hands or fists move, and the legs move, and that's it. So he has basic articulation, just like the Kong. So I'm quite disappointed that Playmates didn't remove the whip from this guy, because I feel like that could have been an action feature. I do know we had that on the other Skar King figure that we taken a look at. But still though, I feel like they could have done it with this figure. A bit of a disappointment. But as for the action feature, the Battle Roar, there's also a button on the back to activate the sound, and you can move the jaw and stuff. I think I've already said that. And well, let's just hear to see what this angry monkey has to say. Man, his breath smells like bananas. So those were the Battle Roar figures. I know there's Battle Roar Shimo, that's coming out eventually. But overall, definitely a major improvement from the last Battle Roar figures. And I think they're definitely worth checking out. But we're not done with the Battle Roar figures, because it's time to go giant size. Next up, we're going to take a look at the big boys here. That's right, Kong with the Beast Glove and Godzilla Evolved have become giant. And these are the figures right here. And so, I don't have Skar King, I already explained that. But anyways, let's just get to these figures. First starting with Godzilla Evolved, which looks really good. Even though it honestly feels like they took the smaller figure and made it giant. So, I do feel like the spines here definitely look a lot better. They especially look a lot better, especially at the end of the tail. Honestly, the end of the tail spines, they look alright. It's just they didn't really paint it that well to match, you know, the body or the other spines on the body, sorry. But anyway, that's not really a huge complaint. Like, I kind of found it a bit of a complaint with the smaller figure. Also, he has his red spines on his arms there, which I think is really painted very good in my opinion. Even though I think they're supposed to be pink, but whatever. This they use the red for these Godzilla toys, probably because they know kids don't want, you know, pink on a pink Godzilla toy. But anyway, as for articulation, the mouth moves, the arms move, the hands don't move this time around, and the legs can move back and forward, and the feet can move, as well as the tail. The tail also articulates, and obviously the back of the tail doesn't articulate, and that's pretty much it. One of my problems with this figure is obviously the goddamn screw holes. When will Playmates just stop putting screw holes in their Godzilla figures and Kong figures? I also see on their Kong figures, but I obviously know, I mean, is this the Hasbro Jurassic World toys? I mean, what are you doing, Playmates, with these figures? Here's just a little size comparison with the Battle Roar Godzilla Evolved. I don't have the other one on me at the moment. It's still around somewhere. But anyway, I do feel like this guy is really... I feel like this guy is definitely really good in terms of sizing, even though he's very, very giant. I haven't got the Jada Toys RC Godzilla Evolved figure, but that toy looks so freaking awesome. I really want to get it. Like, it'll definitely be much better than this figure. But still, though, I'm happy with the Playmates figure. It still looks really good. But anyways, with the Kong with Beast Glove here, I definitely think Playmates just nails it with their Kong figures. This one looks really good, but with the damn screw holes again. The Beast Arm or Beast Glove looks pretty cool in this guy. And overall, I think Playmates did a good job with this figure. It's kind of the same as, you know, the Godzilla. But anyway, in terms of articulation, the head can move all the way around. You can even pose his head a bit. His arms do move, rotate all the way around. The shoulders move, and also the his fists move. Unfortunately, there is no articulation on his Beast Glove. I know that's to be expected, because this is pretty much kind of like a giant version of the smaller figure, so just keep that in mind. Also, the legs can move as well, the knees can move, and the feet can't move as well. The feet don't move, so that's a bit annoying. But overall, I actually think this Kong looks amazing. I especially like how Playmates put so much detail into their Kong figure here. So, the only thing I would probably fix here are the screw holes. I hate the screw holes. Please don't go all Hasbro and Playmates. Just get rid of the screw holes. Cover them up. But anyway, here's just a size comparison between their last giant figures with 2021 Godzilla and Kong. And as you can tell, there is a huge difference between these guys, and I think I prefer the newer ones compared to the 2021 figures. And so that was it, all the Godzilla Kong the New Empire figures. Oh my god, that was so much figures, but so much figures to choose from. So which figures would you want? Well, it's really up to you in your collection. Anyway, There's so much to choose from here. Also, the giant Skar King, the giant Shimo, all that. I hope if we do get them down here in Australia, I'll make a video on them. So there will be a part 2, as well as a wave 2 if a wave 2 is ever going to get made by Playmates. So expect more Godzilla Kong, the new Empire figures, to be coming. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure.